yourself. Hi, Kelly. Hello. I'm going to be your occupational therapist today. I understand you're having some difficulty with your left hand and wrist. Okay. What I'm going to do is do some testing today so we can figure out what we can do. We're playing together. So, okay if I test you? Okay. So, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. First, straighten your fingers and make a fist for me. Good. Touch your thumb to your little finger. Great. Take your elbow at your side. Turn your palm up. Turn your palm down. Bring your wrist up. Bring your wrist down. Great. Side to side. So, all right. So I'm going to just feel a little bit. I want to feel where the wrist joint is. Make sure there are no scars, adhesion. I want to see if I can find Lister's tubercle. Make sure there's any sensitivity in the snuff box, etc. Okay? Make sure the skin is moving the way it should. Okay. Great. Now, Kelly, what I'm going to do is take some measurements. And I'll just write them here. All right, we're going to start with the forearm. So today is 11/20. Tester. AM. This is Kelly O'Connor. Is my patient, so I know. Okay, and it's her left forearm. I'm going to do supination over pronation. Okay, this is how I would write it out on my testing. You'll write it on your machine. Okay, put your elbow at your side. Yes, would you mind? That would be awesome. Normally she'd be sitting, of course, and so would I. But so you guys can see, we're going to stand. Okay, Kelly, what I want you to do with your elbow at your side, I want you to turn your palm up towards the ceiling. Okay, can you go any further? Okay, stability arm stays in line with her humerus. Mobility arm follows around on the wrist crease. The axis itself is around the ulna. Whenever I do rotation, axis is on this side. Okay, can you go any further?
Yeah.
Oh, can you go any further? Thank you. Good, relax for me. All right, Kelly has 88 degrees of supination.
Girls, can I get right here real quick?
Palm up.
I'm just gonna go behind her.
Pronation. Okay, Kelly, can you turn your palm down as far as you can go?
Am I blocking?
Okay. Stability arm stays in line with the humerus. Mobility arm stays right across the wrist crease. Okay. Can you go any further? Okay. There we go. All right. Now, Kelly, can you cheat for me? Of course, we're not going to ask your patient. Can you see what she's doing? Pulling her shoulder in. So elbow needs to be here, and make sure she's not moving her body over there. Okay. So there we go. Good. Relax for me. And Kelly has 82 degrees of pronation.
And also for supination, your clients, if they have a loss of supination, they'll want to bring their arm forward and do something like that. So you got to make sure it's tucked back in at their side. Because then it's shoulder external rotation helping them to get that motion.
Exactly. Guys, hear that one? Thank you very much. Okay, so for wrist motion, okay, wrist goniometrics. And again, she would be sitting. Kelly, can you, that's okay, you can, if you would. Okay, I want you to bring your wrist back as far as you can. Okay, so stability arm, and the right on the forearm. Mobility arm goes between the long finger and ring finger. Okay, here we go. All right, the book shows it differently than I am. This is the way that we are going to do it. Now, if I really want to see good motion, I'm going to say, and we won't ding for this, but relax your fingers, Kelly. Bring your hand back. Can you see how much further she can go without the tension of the flexors? So you can see it yourself. So, all right, right about there. Can you go further? Okay, there she goes. 75 degrees of wrist extension. Okay, next. Kelly, bring your wrist down for me as far as you can. Okay, again, I'm lining this up. This makes it so easy when you're lining this up. Okay, so I'm going to ask her, can you go any further? Okay, 75 degrees of wrist flexion. Okay. Ulnar deviation and radial deviation. I would normally have Kelly on the table and say, bring your hand to this side or bring your hand to this side, okay? Access for this motion is right over that lunate, so you need to find your lunate, okay? Remember, right off of Lister's tubercle, that little bump, you're gonna find right kind of in line with the long finger, you're gonna find this little divot in her wrist. And just to see, I'm gonna go back and forth. That looks like the access to motion from her. Can we put this up like this? Okay, so there's her lunate. Looks like the axis of motion to me. Okay, everyone okay with that? So I found her lunate coming right off of Lister's tubercle. It's going to be in line with the long finger, so you can kind of find that without too much trouble. And I'm going to put the axis of my goniometer right over that little spot. Okay? Now, when Kelly goes to radial deviation, for example, I say, Kelly, bring your hand over as far as you can towards your thumb. Okay? I'm going to follow the long finger metacarpal. I don't follow the long finger. I follow the long finger metacarpal. Can you see the difference there?
Speak now for
Okay.
piece.
Okay. Watch how different it looks when I follow. Okay, I'm not in front of there. There we go. I think that's about right.
You're not following
Okay.
the finger, you're just following
I'm following the metacarpal. Watch how different that looks. And again, I'm not right in front of it, so if this doesn't show up as well on the on the camera, you know that's because I'm not right in front of her. Okay, so let's look at here. Okay. Whoops. Okay. That's where you really see the difference. Follow the metacarpal. You don't follow the hand. Yes. Okay, so that this line is going to be going right in the intersecting that metacarpal joint, not following that. Okay.
The mobility arm under the axis is on the lunate, but the mobility arm is right in the middle of the.
Right in the middle of the forearm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Stability.
The stability arm. Okay, can you go any further, Cal? Okay, so her ulnar deviation is, sorry, Cal, relax for me, 30 degrees. And her radial deviation is, Kelly, can slide over in this direction for me? Can you go any further? Okay. So Kelly's radial deviation is 14 degrees. Okay, next, let's do the MP joints. Okay, and then PIP and DIP. Okay, and that should be listed. Okay, so you're going to use a little finger goniometer for this. Okay, this is one you haven't seen before. Okay, so finger gun, get used to it. You be able to practice in here. These are very, sadly, expensive. Okay, so Kelly, straighten your fingers for me. All right, Kelly's got some hyperextension. For now, I'm not going to worry about, I'm going to change this. I'm not going to worry about hyperextension. Okay, if I ask you to measure MCP extension, if we ask that in the competency, we'll just, as long as you can go straight, okay, you'll probably have something like measure index MCP extension deflection. So you'll want to make sure she's at 0.
Can you put her hand this way so we can
Certainly.
see? Yeah.
Okay, so you want to see her at 0. Turn it like this. You okay like that? Everyone see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, Kelly, what I want you to do is bring your fan straight down for me. Okay, I'll bring you around like this. Can you see here? Okay, there is no stability and mobility with a finger goniometer. You put it on in a way that doesn't block motion. Okay, some people who have stuff on the wrist, can you see that it might be harder for me to line that up if her wrist is in a certain position because of whatever, wrist deformity or whatever. So I'm going to just move my goniometer in whichever way I can get the axis over the joint. Okay, can you go any further? No. Okay, now that's at 85 degrees for her index metacarpal. Okay, so this is index. So her index metacarpal went from 0 extension to 85 degrees flexion. Okay, that's how it's going to be marked. Okay, now, a number of you will want to do this. Kelly, okay, I can see that she's straight. Okay, see if she's straight. Make a fist for me. Okay, am I going to get full motion here? Possibly not. If I really want full MCP motion, she's got to come straight down. Do it yourself. Make a fist and then come straight down. And you see the difference in your motion? Okay, it might be only a couple degrees, but if you're looking for the motion at the MCP joint, isolate your MCP joint out. Don't make a fist, because many people when they make a fist, they don't move as much down on the MCP joint. So I'm looking only for a knuckle or MCP joint motion. So you need to do a straight fist. Next one, PIP joint. Kelly, straighten all the way up for me. Okay, so I am looking at her and I'm saying, spread out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do a PIP of the index again. Okay, and I want to check to see, does she have hyperextension? She has a little bit of hyperextension there, because that's a hinge joint, right? So I'm placing it right at the crease of the finger. Everyone okay with that? Placing it right at the crease of the finger. Okay, there's a little circle there that tells me where it is, and I see that she has, can you go any further? Okay, so when I take that off, Kelly has 6 degrees of hyperextension. So how am I going to write that? H6. Okay? Now, in order to measure PIP flexion, what I'm going to do is ask her to do it up here, not down here. If you do it down here, you can, but can you see that I have to switch the arms? If I do it this way, I'm going to have a really hard time because of that palm. So the best way to do it is to make a hook. Okay, so I'm going to I'm ready, she can get into position and I can place my goniometer. Can you come any further? Okay, so Kelly has 107 degrees of PIP flexion. Okay? DIP looks exactly the same. Straighten all the way up for me, Kelly. Okay, I want to see if she has any hyperextension. Can you go any further? Okay, so Kelly has 7 degrees of hyperextension at the DIP joint. Bend for me. And flexion, she has, can you go any further? 69 degrees. H7 over 69. Okay? All right, next one is, let's see, thumb. Okay, so for the thumb, there are 2 ones that you're going to be responsible for this. Thumb MP and thumb IP. Okay? So for the thumb MP motion, can you straighten all the way up? This just gets easier because these joints, you're just going to place it right on top. Okay, and Kelly has 0. Okay, 2. Kelly, can you bend down and reach as far as you can? Can you go any further? Okay. I'm going to try it with, go as far as you can. Either one. I just want to, okay. There we go. So I wanted to reach as far as you can across there, and she has 51 degrees. Okay.